Bold.
Cheeky.
Flashy. Gallus.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Gallus podcast. My name is Ryan Robertson. I'm joined today by my esteemed colleague, Mr.
Joshua White here.
How you doing?
Good. We're about to talk about a film that you quite like, and a film that I'm decent with as well.
That film is Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness.
That is a bit mad.
It's highly, highly mad. I have a undying love for this film. I ignore any of the negative criticisms people may have. There's a point. I just think what we actually got was very, very good.
I remember when I seen it in the pictures. I came out pretty happy about it. Not a lot of people were though.
Yeah, everyone I was with, there was a big group of fives, and everyone was like, "Oh, that was terrible. That wasn't good. That was terrible. That wasn't good. All right, cool."
Like everyone else who I was with was just like, "Nah, it's not as good." And then that kind of made them not want to see as many Marvel films after that.
Oh yeah, this is one of the first ones that probably started to kill Marvel.
Yeah, one of them. The trailer was like really good, and then I guess people were just disappointed.
The film is very, very good. We are not going to give you a massive plot breakdown. We're just going to reference the plot from time to time because you know the film.
Everyone was excited for it because of No Way Home, you know. And
yeah,
they kind of foreshadowed it a little bit, you know. What's Doctor Strange going to do this time? Because he was in this film. Oh. And then people were disappointed. But
the film heavily was an expectations versus reality type deal. You know, what people expected to get was absolute brilliance, absolute madness, absolute chaos. This, and this. Oh, Wolverine will be there. Oh, Professor X will be there. Oh, who else could exist? The Fantastic Four will be there. But what they got was not that.
Yeah, whoever, the trailer really was like, yes, these people are showing up. This is what's happening. Y'all better get excited. And then, I guess, they kind of not utilise them as much. I
was very excited. I was quite pleased with what I got in the film.
I'm very decent. I gave it 4 stars when I first seen it, and I kind of lowered it to maybe 3. It's not as amazing as I last seen it, but it's still a good watch whenever, because it looks quite good as well.
I've seen it a fair few times now, and in an isolated bubble, it's great. Mm-hmm. Watch these films in isolation. Don't think about what surrounds them.
You don't even need to know how Doctor Strange became Doctor Strange.
Well,
just know that he is a strange doctor, you know. He actually kind of is.
He was a doctor, yeah. The main issue, I will say, aside from the people being like, "Oh, this is bad," actually, is the character of America Chavez. She's not likable. I don't care about her. And the plot is built around this little girl.
Literally, when we were talking about it before recording this, I literally looked at her and went, "Oh, she's in the film."
Yeah.
It would have been a bit better if if it was just Stephen Strange, just himself. That would have, nothing much would have changed.
She felt like an extra bit of baggage that the film didn't need.
Yeah, because I feel like they're trying to, another hero from this comic that came out 40 years ago that only had one, version, first edition. You never knew about them until right
Chavez
now.
Is a bit more of a big deal than that.
That's how I imagine
she's in the
most side characters to be like.
Her powers allow her to travel through the multiverse.
Which is just a whole mess on its own. I don't know how they're going to continue it. We'll see, but...
The multiverse was never a good idea to do in a film.
See, anything to do with multiverses or time travel...
No time for it.
It boggles my mind, so I'm like,
aye.
This thing, with all of these events were here would have been totally pointless if it wasn't, for this time travel, and then this thing would have... There's this whole rabbit hole in your mind that's just, why did this have to happen?
I don't want to go down this rabbit hole.
Why can't everything just happen in the one thing?
I've just deleted about 15 seconds of audio where I just sat silently because...
That's what thinking about the multiverse does to you.
Aye, because I was thinking about all this time travel and all this multiverse stuff and it broke my brain.
Exactly, you just end up coming up with this stuff that just makes sense, to you,
Doctor Strange 2 and all of the mind-boggling brain breaks.
I suppose multiverse and time travel are kind of different.
They're the same thing.
But they can be the same thing. It's like you travel to this time, this other universe, but it's like 30 years behind. But then I hate the idea because if one thing happens in a different universe, there's no point. There's no reason to want to save this timeline that you're not from.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
Unless it's Kang taking over literally everything because he somehow has that ability to do that.
You know, let's just start down. We're going to take a different approach to this podcast. We're going to discuss our expectations going into the film, what we think it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to discuss the reality, and we're going to discuss what we would have done differently.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you expect from Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness?
Well, there was a lot of rumours back in the day. You know, it happens with every film. Rumours float about. The hype train, everyone's aboard. And, the ScotRail destination hype train is going towards the film in pictures. And I don't really know what I was expecting. People were saying that, it's going to be a horror film. I saw a TikTok post that 18 people were going to die or something.
Yes.
There's 18 people are going to die. I'm like, this thing, I came into here thinking, this is going to be like, really, really, either really, it's going to be really brutal. And it's also going to be terrifying, probably.
Yes.
Many jump scares,
No.
proper horror, something like that. Many important people are going to, die here.
No.
And then you've seen the trailers with the, your Illuminati and all that. Like, what are they going to do? I was thinking maybe they were going to either team up or something, maybe. But that did not happening. Maybe bring them to this timeline, explain where they came from, what happened in their sort of timeline for that to happen. But what I got was it was horror, but it wasn't scary horror. It was more just, look at this weird thing. It's like an ocean on a cup. That's scary and surreal.
It was good horror. It was well done horror.
It was
right.
It was fine. It didn't scare me though.
It's the good stuff. The entire film also has suffered many criticisms of pacing issues.
I suppose.
half understand that.
I mean, it's like 2 hours and a half or something.
It is very long, which it didn't need to be.
Like, if there's pacing problems in a almost 3-hour film, then there's definitely kind of issues there. You're trying to cram so much into one thing.
Hence, remove America Chavez, all your problems are solved. I thought she was just going to be in the film.
See if there's pacing problems in an hour and a half film, like Mario, then literally just add 20 minutes and you're fine.
Yeah.
But see, with this, you can't just add 20 minutes because then you'll have your entire audience fall asleep. So I think, the film is at that point where you have to remove things instead of add things.
America Chavez.
And adding things is much more easier than just removing stuff. And I guess to try to cram so much in.
America Chavez, get her gone. I thought she was just going to be a weak and a side character. I didn't think she'd be the most important character to the film. Sorry, the most important character to the film.
She is literally Doctor Strange, I'd assume, because she's got a portal thing.
Oh no, her powers is she can travel multiverses.
She can travel multiverses.
Nobody else can do that.
I'm sure Doctor Strange can do that as well.
Huh.
I thought his little ring.
He just teleports wherever he wants to go. He creates portals to go wherever he wants to go across one universe.
I thought he could just go from.
No, he can't multiverse travel. America Chavez can multiverse travel. That's our special gimmick.
That's a shame. But actually,
that
makes sense from Spider-Man: No Way Home. Remember when bring Peter Parker and then his little portal shows up, and then there's another Spider-Man that appears.
But he was already in that universe.
Universes, go in the bin.
It's too confusing. Stop doing it.
Then
just be simple. Do you know how simple Captain America 1 is?
Yeah.
Simple.
See,
that was good.
Me being confused about this is just an example of this whole multiverse thing.
Yeah, we're only going to talk ourselves into even more of a loop as we go.
Yeah, I'm just having more brain fog as we go, but hey ho, we'll be fine.
Can I praise the film? Can I just start?
I have good things to say about it.
Can I just start listing all of the things I like about this film?
Go on.
Scarlet Witch.
She's good. She's just total psycho now.
She's got one of the best introductions to any villainous character across probably the entire MCU. She's got her little trees and all that and her little thing. She's in her little granny jumper. Stephen Strange is walking with her I want to talk to you about the multiverse, so on and so forth. I've gone highly Scottish with this accent. Oh god, what happened there? Accents are a common thread in this film. he's like, aye, so blah 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 blah. I found the girl. Can we hold her here? And she goes, yeah, bring America here. And then he's like, he freezes, and she's like, you never told me her name, did you? And then she just clicks her fingers as red magic evaporates around the entire place as it becomes a desolate wasteland as Scarlet Witch goes all villainous and evil, cuts monologues, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, that's one way to incorporate horror for me, and that's to include like Satanist imagery.
There's no Satanist imagery in this film.
Well, I just associate red and like horns and like the Scarlet Witch. It's just the definition of hell. Can what I mean?
Oh yeah,
it's
hell is a place on earth, and she's gonna kill everyone.
A devilish, Satan place. But that's just me. That was the vibe I got from it. Which, I mean, it's probably a good thing. Makes her look more intimidating.
I'm all for it.
And I liked WandaVision as well, so I wanted to see how she. That was another thing I was expecting.
Yeah, a lot more reference to WandaVision.
After WandaVision happened, I'm like, well, what happens now?
Yeah.
And she's now just back to square one. Did all this stuff with Vision with a whole different thing and the Waynes and everything, capture this whole town or something.
WandaVision is also alarmingly good.
Thing. And then it all gets wiped out, back to square one. Wonder how she's going to get on now.
WandaVision's a fascinating case study.
Yeah, because
it's like the most overrated show in the world.
I don't think it's mediocre. I think it's really good. I think it's more good than bad, obviously. And I watched it and enjoyed it.
I feel like it suffered highly from the same expectations as this did. Everyone thought they were going to get a character called Mephisto. I don't know who Mephisto is, but everyone spoke non-stop about how he was going to be the villain. He was not referenced at all.
I kind of cried at the end of WandaVision.
It's a very sad end.
That was depressing. I mean, that's kind of what made that's what made, Wanda Scarlet Witch. That's what, I guess if you didn't watch WandaVision, you'll be like, why is she here? What is she doing? Why is she Scarlet? Why is she evil now?
Oh, she justifies it very easily.
I mean, you kind of does show it in this film because of our, children. They show up. Our sons show up in an alternate universe thing, place.
Her goal is to kidnap America Chavez to use her multiversal powers to find her kids from WandaVision, Billy and someone.
I'm just gonna call him Cody.
Billy and Cody. Definitely not his
probably
name.
Not Cody.
To find the twins and basically mother them in this world because she wants them back. And Doctor Strange is going to do everything in his power to stop her from doing that because I guess that would break the multiverse.
That would do something weird because it's physics.
It would do something weird to the multiverse, yeah.
Basically, Wanda's whole thing in WandaVision, she tried to get her children, her life that she ever wanted in a nice way. Kind of, not by brainwashing the entire town, but I guess that's the nicest way to go about it. Or
Tim would have been happy enough.
She's done that, and then she just kind of wants to be evil now. And,
the town got their 15 minutes of fame thanks to Wanda.
I'm still confused sometimes. This is multiverse stuff.
She says, I will find America here, and I will tell you to bring her to me at this time, at this place, and if you don't, I will kill you all. So they go to Kamatage, which I believe is one of the spellcasty places. You meet Wong again, and Wong's yo.
Yeah, that was where
Fez is there, Doctor Strange is there. They're all chilling, having their best life, and Wanda rocks up with a storm cloud of redness again, and but she stares down Doctor Strange, and then Doctor Strange is like, no, I will not give you the girl, and Wanda won on thousands an army, and Wanda won on thousands wins.
That was a place with all the goats and stuff. Yeah, I remember that. That was something. I mean, it's not like they just. She didn't defeat Doctor Strange or anything like that, but.
No, she beats everyone except from Wong, Chavez, and Doctor Strange.
Yeah, which I'd assume she would have to.
They hide in this very special room, which is where you get my next best thing in this film, which is the Wanda in the Room of Mirrors sequence. As Rhonda cuts about all these mirrors as she attempts to crawl her way through the reflections in the room before eventually spider crabbing evil horror, Evil Dead style out of a bit of light into the room. It's amazing. Because she's the best.
I can see how that can be horror, like, mirror rooms and such.
Yes.
That can be
very Sam Raimi.
I don't know, I feel like it's very phobia, like,
and I love every moment
Like, see,
of it.
like if you perfect like a mirror room, I mean, I'd be like, the hell, you know, if there was a
Hit chapter 2.
you know, that seemed a bit horror like. You know, Sam Raimi does like his horrors,
I'm
such
a
as
big
Spider-Man
fan of-
3.
It's not a horror. Big fan of Sam Raimi's work. The Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, Drag Me to Hell. Oh, you could feel that in this film.
Yeah,
Only at points though. Sometimes you could feel the heavy Sam Raimi, other times you felt the Marvel machine cog in its generic
I mean,
formula.
there was horror.
See if they just
aspects.
fully ditched the generic formula. They could have had a golden piece of like content that's strung together by people crawling through mirrors.
There was just many bits of like horror that I guess tried to make it look scary. You know, like the waves on the cup. Like I don't see how that was much scary. It was freaky looking. It was weird, but that's all it is. It's just weird.
Yeah, that
It's
counts.
weird. It's,
counts.
I guess it
That's
counts as
Sam
horror.
Raimi. It's wacky, weird horror. You know,
Wacky and weird.
you love it. The Army of Darkness. A man, basically, our main character loses his arm,
Yeah,
and he attaches a chainsaw to his hand and basically replaces his hand with the chainsaw.
lovely.
It's a good plot point. Oh, but it's not graphic. It looks dreadful. It's great. He then slaughters so many people.
Lovely.
Army of Darkness is phenomenal.
Well, I'm not usually a horror fan, but
It barely counts as horror.
yeah, I mean,
Evil Dead 2 is a bit weird.
comical horrors, you know, they're not too bad.
Do love a funny horror.
Just like
This
blood everywhere. Why does it have to be blood everywhere? There's about to be blood everywhere in this film as well,
It's
so
funny. Oh yes, that's coming.
there's about to be blood.
Wanda is about to reach the peak of what she wants to do when America Chavez decides her and Doctor Strange are going for a little multiversal travel. Chavez can't control her powers because of course she can't.
I love
You
this
need
bit.
this plot line, and then they will all let you sit back and talk us
Is
through
this
what happens
this the
next.
bit where they all sort of they travel from each timeline each
travel
1
through
second?
Thousands of different.
This is where like
places.
half the budget went to.
Yes.
Yeah. This is where like a lot of special effects. I mean, it went well. You know, at one point you had, you know, them going to a dinosaur era, and then they all turned all blocky, and then they turned into paint at one point, all water, you know, aqua theme, you know, kind of like pixelated, like something. It just keeps going for this one bit, like you can control her powers for some reason,
She's not very good.
I guess, but I mean, it turned into this really cool looking CGI. I think it's one of it's a really good looking film.
Surprisingly,
Like
this works.
a lot of people complain about CGI and stuff like that. Thor: Love and Thunder. I mean, I can understand why you complain about that, but even in like the really fictional overlay, you know, special effects areas, they look fine.
There is no special effects hiccups at all in this film. Guardians 3 has some, Ant-Man 3 has some,
Yeah,
Thor 4 has some, but this
has a
one's
lot.
just fine. This one
Like-
works well. Everything they tried worked.
I mean, I don't usually look at that and go and immediately go, "Oh, that's terrible." I mean, I only really see it if it's overuse of a green screen or something like that.
Yeah.
Like if it's something like that, then I can probably see that immediately. But I'd have to take a really close look, and even then, if you're watching in like 4K, I mean, if they put it in 4K, they must be confident that the special effects are good,
Yes.
which was the case in this sequence at least, and like the film, because there was a lot. I mean, if you're doing multiverse stuff, they're gonna have to hire about 300 more special effects.
So many special effects writers.
Like how, I don't even imagine how they do that. I don't even know. Like, I know, like, I don't mean the actual programming, the actual special effects. I just mean like communicating about all like 300 odd people to
Yeah.
do all this. Like, how just, I don't know.
It's a very well made film. They
Very
end up
well
in
made.
some weird, basically just not Earth.
Yeah, a different Earth, a weird Earth.
Okay, sure.
I mean, this one's pretty cool because it's not like, I don't like whereas like multiverse is like the exact same. It's like same everything
Okay, but they
except
could've
this
had
slight event just happened that led on to another
Really
big
different.
event.
They could have went really different, but instead they went to a place where
It's more like a plant place. Like
Oh, yeah,
there's
so-
a lot of grass and money didn't really exist.
instead of going on the green man, you go on the red man.
Yeah, little weird things like that, and
You have to pay for food.
mhm,
So it's good to know it's a capitalist society.
and other weird things like you step on this thing, you get to relive a memory.
Oh
And-
yeah, that's a weird one.
And this is where you get a little bit of Chavez's backstory.
Because we care.
Whereas Mother's, no, not his, her Mother's got like sucked into a star or something.
Yeah.
And she never found them again. Boo hoo. Anyway.
Who cares? Blah, blah, blah. They get kidnapped. Blah, blah. Sorry, they get arrested or some jazz. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Something like that.
Doctor Strange is taken by Baron Mordo, who returns. I was so happy when I saw that Mordo returned, because Mordo is one of the best cliffhangers the MCU have ever done.
I suppose he's...
The end of
more or less
Doctor
sort of
Strange 1, the
character.
post-credit scene, they do one of the best teases they've ever done, where he just says, you know what, I've got a new character. I kill exclusively wizards. He goes out of his way to kill this wizard. Oh yeah, and then, I guess...
Poor wizard.
Oh yeah, we're in a different multi... This isn't my Mordo. This isn't...
Yeah.
This is a different Mordo. Why haven't they picked up on how really cool Mordo is slaying wizards? That's such a good plotline that they've not addressed since.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
multiverse stuff.
Full of hate. So anyway,
I guess
it's a
since
different Mordo.
this version, you don't need a backstory for the multiverse version of this character, even though it would be kind of cool to branch out, like, this is what happened, to me in this multiverse and all that, and this is why I became different and all that. But I guess in this case, if someone's different in multiverse, they're just different. Like, don't question it, they're just different. They're evil versions of you.
You then have
for no reason.
different Rachel McAdams as Christine, Doctor Strange's old lady partner, show up.
Yeah.
She works here. That's nice. As Mordo decides he wants to show this, not this universe's Doctor Strange, but this universe's, our universe's Doctor Strange, the main universe's Doctor Strange. I hate the multiverse as a concept. I can't keep track of it. To the Illuminati. The Illuminati.
Yep, the Freemasons cult in America. Anyway,
Or the Marvel faction of random superheroes from random places of Marvel history.
I don't have much knowledge about that. I just know from like a bit of research that it was just a faction multiversal thing. Might be multiversal thing. They included like Iron Man in it as well, in like the comics, and then they just never touched it until now. And then, I guess during my time, we're watching the trailers and all that, and the rumours, like, does this mean that Tony Stark's going to come back temporarily? Because he put Illuminati in the comics?
I just don't care.
He wasn't?
It's not what the film's about. It's not what the film should have been about. Why are you expecting this stuff? The only disappointment I had was America Chavez was a main plot device.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted a film with Doctor Strange fighting Scarlet Witch, and I never got that fight. That's my main gripe.
Even if it wasn't.
That fight would
it was more of a verbal like argument.
Exactly. A fight between these two with just spells and all that would have been the most insane fight in the MCU that it's seen since the Endgame finale. But no, you don't get that because I guess America Chavez is still here.
All Doctor Strange has to do with Scarlet Witch throws a beam of light or darkness or thing at him. I don't even know what they're called. Open up a portal, open up another one on top of our boom. I love portals.
Yeah.
This is why I like Doctor Strange a lot. You can just go anywhere. I love it.
So the Illuminati contains, 6 odd members in this dumb universe.
Yeah,
you can tell I just want to be in main universe at this point.
It gets taken to this Illuminati place.
Which contains Black Bolt from the failed MCU Inhumans show. That's fun.
I forget that's in the MCU.
I quite like that. I thought that's amazing.
Because there's like that the series of shows and that they were not kind of part of MCU, but weren't kind of. Well, they were, but they never really specified.
Watch them.
Things like Daredevil and all that. He appeared.
The Inhumans was slightly different from this. It was more MCU than Netflix. So
Captain Marvel appeared as the other woman.
Marvel. I knew Captain Marvel.
That's
nice.
Something like that.
You've got Peggy Carter of Captain America fame from the What If television show.
Oh, Captain Carter, yeah. I was going to say Captain Britain.
Is that the only link?
Yeah.
To What If?
Yeah, pretty much.
You could have had the entire thing.
You could have had like the whole zombie thing that they had going on.
Yeah.
Which wasn't bad.
Yeah, you could have had more What If references. Otherwise, what is the point of What If it wasn't to set up this multiversal show? Anyway, you had, of course, Mr. Fantastic, he showed there, John Krasinski guy. Everyone was like, hey, it's that lad. And I'm like, oh, he looks terrible.
And then the one and only, I think we're missing someone else.
Oh, yeah, Sir Patrick Stewart.
Sir Patrick Stewart is there on his big yellow chair.
Whatever happened to his regular human wheelchair. Alright, cool.
I don't know. I think it's the future.
All you've done is leave me with questions.
So futuristic.
Is this John Krasinski's Fantastic Four from the 2005 Fantastic Four film, Rise of the Silver Surfer? Is it that one? Is this Sir Patrick Stewart of X-Men class?
Multiverse stuff.
Because he died, so it's not him. Okay. Interesting.
That's where the time travel comes in. It could be that from a different time or something, but then if he died, spoiler, he dies later on in this film, but we'll get to that. So then that would mean if he was dead in this film, but he was in that same timeline as this X-Men thing that he was in, means
the X-Men timeline is redundant.
I really
like the X-Men,
all of the events in that X-Men thing would all be for nothing because he's dead now.
Oh man, I don't like the multiverse as a concept. I just like very specific scenes from this film, and I think it's really well made.
Why can't things happen in the same time, same universe, but no, everything has to be all weirdly done.
Anyway, they tell a long story about how their Doctor Strange was actually a bit of a bell end.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, apparently he was just, He
wasn't good.
They kicked him out, didn't they?
They killed him. He was using the magic Darkhold book or something like that to be more powerful, and they killed him for it.
Killed him.
Because, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and then
something about him.
Then he gets in prison because, No, he gets taken there because they must have thought, why are you here? Are you a multiverse version?
Anyway, meanwhile in the real world, you get one of my other favourite sequences. I'm just stringing my favourite sequences together by little bits of admin plot. The Illuminati was just a funny talking point because it's so stupid and I hated it, but I'd laugh. I laughed a lot at things in this film, but I also loved a lot in this film.
I mean, it's sad because, the actors, you can't have Sir Patrick Stewart in another MCU X-Men thing.
What a waste.
You can't have that anymore. Because, I suppose...
What a terrible idea.
You showed that example in Spider-Man, because you can't have, you get all these different... it's weird because you've got, 3 different actors in, the Spider-Man and all that. Your Tom Hollands and your Andrew Garfields and all that. Why can't it just be all of the same person? Because sometimes you've got several of the same Benedict Cumberbatch, it's Doctor Stranges in different universes. So it's like, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense sometimes because I know you got to
the other really good pitch
I know because you've got to show so many actors and fan service exists and all that, but come on.
The other pitch was all the different people that are meant to play Iron Man were going to get a shot in this. That's a bad idea. Don't do any of these things ever.
They either use the different people or the exact same people. Which, in that case, you should just use a different Doctor Strange or the same Spider-Man. And just
pick a lane and stick to it. Be consistent. Anyway, so Wanda is doing the dreamwalking, which is the coolest thing. She's in a room with candles. She has cross-legged floating with all of her magic red powers as she morphs around the place, looking super badass as a book is being told, as it fades in and out, as an explanation is going on top of it. That scene looks great and I absolutely adore it. She then goes hunting and finds literally home invasion and herself in the other multiversal place, because dreamwalking means you can possess yourself in a different reality. Okay, cool, kind of like that. She possesses other Wanda, who kind of fights off because other Wanda's smart. She sees her little babies. She's in her little pyjamas or whatever Wanda's wearing, and she decides she's going to go and find America Chavez, who is with the Illuminati. So Wanda goes to kill.
Goes to kill again.
And this is another absolutely amazing scene from the film where Wanda just walks into this Illuminati place and says, Black Bolt, you're
and this
dead.
is where a lot of the blood comes from.
She kills the Black Bolt very easily.
That's the most brutal one, because obviously remove the mouth, and then he tries to use that ability by screaming.
What a terrible idea on his
and then it just deflects back up and destroys his brain, turns it to mush, and you get to see his actual head turn
He then caves to the ground. Mr. Fantastic steps up, was like, I'll kill you, and she says, no you won't, you'll now string, and kills him.
Yep, turns him into a literal cheese string.
With ease. Captain Marvel and Peggy Carter, of course, put up a bit more of a fight.
Captain Carter, you know, that was half a fight, wasn't it? If you know what I mean.
Like, they pushed her so much. They wanted her to be the thing. No one liked her.
No one got the joke.
No one liked her.
Half a fight. As she gets sliced.
Oh yeah, I got it. I was just going to build to the fact that she gets knocked down by Wanda. She gets back up and she goes, you know, I could do this all day.
Slice.
And then she gets cut in half, yeah. Wanda throws her shield back through her.
And then I was like, damn, I spent like an extra half an hour watching, you know, Peggy Carter do all that.
Exactly.
Is that the same? Right, and then it leads, is that the same Peggy Carter from the What If episode?
I think the easiest answer is to just say no.
I hope not, because then it was that tangent I had earlier on. Like, would you use the same actual the look of the people? Would you use the exact same look of the people, or would you be like Spider-Man, where it's like different looks of the Spider-Man? I know why they did the thing with Spider-Man, but still.
She then brings a building wall down on top of Captain Marvel, kills her, and there you go. They're all dead except for one.
Squish, slice, stretch.
Shut up.
Shut up. It's all the the ways of them.
Well, are you ready for the snap?
And the snap.
That wasn't good, but I loved it. So her and good old Professor X engage in some mental warfare in another absolutely amazing sequence. Everywhere is white. Professor X has a turtleneck on.
Mm-hmm.
It made me laugh a lot, as the fact he stood there in a turtleneck. Good old Sir Patrick Stewart.
The fact that he just stood up.
He stood up, he walks over
in general
to the kind of WandaVision, little reference to WandaVision, and then all of a sudden he's basically trying to communicate with Wanda, being like, you're being possessed by another version of yourself, I'm in your mind, please escape. Wanda's mind, by the way, being just white with her, like, tortured past.
And
Chef's kiss.
Like a bunch of bricks, you know?
Oh yeah, it's a one wee little reference to some scenes from her past. As slowly red clouds and smoke and magic and spell and ooze and pus and that got horrible.
Evil
rocks
power.
Up, evil power, and Wanda just pops out and snaps his neck.
Yeah, that's
Sir Patrick.
Right, that's like the only bits that I was like. It was just that sequence where she killed them all. I mean, made her look kind of powerful, you know.
She's also wearing pajamas coated in blood.
Yeah, and I was like, it was. I should say Professor X, but I'll just say Patrick Stewart.
Sir Patrick Stewart, please.
The Sir Patrick Stewart death. Like, that was like the death where I was like, holy God. I actually got a fright there. I'm like, Jesus.
She's a beast.
Like, I turned back. I'm like, Jesus, I don't want to see that.
She's a beast.
Like, she, you know, go girl boss, you know, as some people would say.
Yes. She then stomps her way down in another absolutely stellar sequence where she hunts Doctor Strange, America Chavez, and Christine.
Yeah.
Good old Christine.
And then you get more kind of backstory on, like...
She hunts through the kind of underground, like, sewersy, watersy bit, where they flood it with water, all these, like, different chambers.
Yeah.
Oh, great, as she just walks and finds different ways to get through the doors, being incredibly powerful, because she is. God, they've set up Doctor Strange as being really powerful. God, they've set up the Scarlet Witch as being really powerful. Cannot wait to see them have a really cool fight.
That would be cool.
Oh wait, no, they also set up America Chavez as the most powerful because she can travel through the multiverse, which means, you know what time it is? Do you know what time it is? Do you know what time it is? It's time for her to be caught and kidnapped by Wanda.
I mean, if they're that powerful, why can't they just, escape, I guess? I mean, Scarlet Witch more powerful. But...
Wanda also commandeered a giant rock lair.
Yeah.
On a mountain of sorts, where she made some friends with some giant beasts.
Yeah, it really reminded me of that place in Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, very nice, yeah.
Where they killed, Gamora and all that.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that.
Killing of Gamora is way more important than the killing of Black Widow, just saying. It's more memorable. So, I prefer Black Widow. Black Widow's great.
Yeah, she shouldn't have died, man. That was a shame. Anyway,
Yeah,
different film.
She big Scarlet Witch mural on the wall, this is her destiny. She brings America Chavez there, ties her down, and basically says, I'm now going to extract your multiversal power from you, so on and so forth.
And then I'll be the multiversal person that can kill people.
No, she just wants to go and have a lovely time with her children.
Yeah, and that too. There's only, that's literally, I guess motherly power,
It's the story.
That's how it goes, Mother who will do literally anything.
Yes.
To get her way. And
she's a good mum.
That's when people say that, how mothers would do literally anything in their power to make sure they have their children back. The Scarlet Witch for you. The
amazing line of Wanda does, I think this was said at the beginning of the film, Wanda does something bad with a magic book. Sorry, Wanda does something bad and she's hated for it. Doctor Strange did something bad too when last time he's praised for it.
Yeah. That's emphasized a lot in the trailer. She made a whole tangent in the trailer about that. And then I just totally forgot about it in the film itself.
It's really good. She's got really good motivations. I'm rooting for her heavily. She deserves to beat America Chavez because she's unlikable.
She's a good character.
She might be the best.
The best.
She might be the best.
She's just really good. She definitely evolved throughout time.
Yeah.
As time went.
Best.
And then WandaVision happened, cried at that, and then her motivations became more and more extreme. Yeah. But I guess you can get why, but she killed other people, and it's kind of mixed. But I do overall found, usually don't mind her, liked her in the film when I first seen it, still kind of do. Just she's a little bit extreme with it.
She also then practically kills Wong at this point. I really wish she did kill Wong. That would have been nice.
I love Wong.
People need that. There needs to be consequences. People can't live all the time.
I know, but
she can kill this not Patrick Stewart fake. I bet you Patrick Stewart isn't even a star in their multiverse, but he's just Patrick Stewart because all he did was play this terrible version of Professor X.
Even if deaths happen, it makes me really skeptical for later films because, they can just have they can just have Tony Stark appear for a little bit.
Kill Wong.
And then another Wong will just appear yo, I'm here. This was actually a fake Wong all along, actually. Somehow they'd make a way.
They can do that if they want, and
good
on them for doing that. Because whilst Wanda has poor America Chavez tied down and he's trying to extract her power from her, you get my favourite scene in the film. You get the best scene in this film. Are you aware of what I'm about to discuss?
Go on.
Giants. Somehow Doctor Strange and Christine end up in this weird, dark, creepy reality. There's a giant staircase in the sands. They enter a building, which is like a cool wee mansion, which is somehow also got water in it. I like it. He ascends a staircase to where he meets a green variant of himself, also known as himself with a ponytail, I believe, and just wearing the colour green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this man says some of the most philosophically cool, unnecessary monologues you'll ever hear. See when you're dreaming and you have that dream when you're falling?
That actually happened.
That was me. I pushed you. So on and so forth. The film did open with Doctor Strange having a bad dream, as he has.
And
it was really good. The camera turned around.
Yeah.
Really good shooting.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to have a dream like that, when I'm told that everything actually has happened, multiverse or whatever, I guess I just wouldn't sleep.
Nah, I don't need to sleep. Hence the guy goes by nightmare to many. He continues talking really cool stuff until he unveils his third eye. Because he uses the evil book of death. Dun dun dun, not the Darkhold. Dun dun dun, not the Darkhold. Dun dun dun, dun dun dun, dun dun dun, dun dun dun. That was a reference to the fact that they then start playing with music, and which is the coolest MCU fight ever.
It's just that was a good bit.
There's a piano and they start taking the notes from the sheet music and they start shooting the sheet music at each other.
Yeah, and then whenever it gets they gets to flight, they go back, another note plays, and then
the notes
a deeper note. I love it.
Beethoven Symphony No. 5 at points. But whenever good Doctor Strange does it, it's an upbeat royal song. Whenever the bad one does it, it's dun dun dun. It is
He deflects,
so phenomenal.
the evil Strange, like, deflects it back. It's always just, like, a deeper version of that note, if you know what I mean. It's like this, I love it. Like, just the total opposite.
Yes, it is such a terrible idea that someone had, they decided to make.
That's a good idea.
It really worked. Shooting sheet music at each other and having the sheet music play
this is
to
magic
the beat
multiverse
of people
stuff.
shooting is not a good idea. But it worked so well that it is damn good one. Well
that
done.
means it is a good idea.
Keep it up. Yeah, but it's one of those ideas that they had in a room. There was about 20 folk and they all laughed and thought, no, but actually, let's do this. And they did, and it worked.
And I mean, this is like the weird, wacky. Well, I wouldn't say horror, but it is weird and wacky.
Yeah.
This is like multiverse stuff talking about, just let them float.
Good Doctor Strange wins with the last remaining ding, the last music note, and then poor Nightmare falls out of a window, smashes the window, falls and impales himself on a fence.
I mean, that's just luck in it.
Christine is stood right beside this fence and is like, ugh. But of course it's not our Christine. It's not the one that got married at the beginning of the film to set up all the film in motion. It's a different Christine, of course. This one, not married.
And this one, I mean, he gives you a backstory previously about, his troubles in the relationship and all that. But, like, makes me kind of talk more. And that's with a different reality of Christine, which I don't, like, I certainly wouldn't talk to, the alternate reality of my ex, if that was a thing,
I wonder what his plan was. Talk to the alternate reality.
I don't know what his plan was.
About.
Maybe to just, I mean, it's not like, the one that the Christine that he knows is going to know about it.
Yeah, but he'll now know more about her feelings and be able to basically manipulate.
Oh, she's married. She married now. I mean, he ain't getting her anytime soon.
Right at the beginning, he jumps out of a building, whips his cape on, and of course he has a suit on. That looks badass.
Yeah, that's actually good suit.
He then beats a giant eye. That's what you do.
You back at the beginning.
Oh, aye. Because we have to link to the fact that America Chavez is cutting about with this other Doctor Strange who's slaughtered, and other Doctor Strange's corpse ends up in the good reality, which Doctor Strange buries in the good reality, and then he decides he's going to dreamwalk into our reality to go and save America Chavez before Wanda kills her, to which Christine is like, but you're here, you don't have a you can dreamwalk into. And he's like, conveniently there's a corpse of another multiverse as me in our reality. I'm going to kill. So it sets up a bunch of candles in the room, and well, he dreamwalks into a corpse of himself. Now you can't really get away with dreamwalking into a corpse, so the souls of the damned come and he fights them because he's a wizard, he's in control, and he turns them into his cape, and it is such a cool look.
Yeah, I think so.
I love it. He then flies to the lair, has a tiny script with Wanda. Then he
not a very climactic battle though.
No, not the cool spell fight I wanted. He then fails. He falls as America Chavez finally is able to control her powers. Steps up. She punches Wanda, and Wanda just no sells it. She just looks at her and is like, "Is that all you have?"
Pathetic.
Terrible. America Chavez then says, "Fine, I can't beat you in a fist fight because America Chavez can act." She then says, "I'll give you what you want," and she punches Scarlet Witch into a reality with the twins, Billy and Cody. It's not Cody. And they are like, "Oh, you're a witch, you're a witch, you're a monster, and they throw things at her.
Oh, that thing was... Yeah. And then the real mother shows up, and then it's
it's a whole thing.
It's like, what the hell's happening here? And then, is that like the actual WandaVision world? See, I question it every time.
What is the multiverse then?
I question it when, it's like, is this another version of a reality, of the different reality of WandaVision? Then another multiverse is made during WandaVision. So that means there's two WandaVisions. Because obviously, this WandaVision that we watched is in our world.
There's an infinite amount of everything, and I hate it. It's a terrible idea. It shouldn't be explored because it leaves you with more questions than answers, but not good questions. questions that you'll never get an answer to and you don't want an
Yeah.
answer to. Anyway, Wanda brings
sure,
the
like-
hill down on herself and kills herself, which is nice.
I'm pretty sure during like the
By
bit where
Wanda.
like the Waynes were screaming at her and all that, I'm pretty sure like that bit where she like it was pretty good acting, you know, when she shouted "shut up" and all that.
Wanda,
I'm pretty sure she, like in the actual studio, the Waynes were like actually like flustered.
Elizabeth Olsen
They were like-
stole the show.
They were like, what?
Her acting across WandaVision.
Makes you feel rotten
and
after it.
Doctor Strange is top tier.
It's brilliant acting.
And that's why Doctor Strange 2 should have just been about her and Doctor Strange. Just let them two basically fight.
Nah, basically fight
And
maybe
Baron
a couple side
Mordo.
characters, you know, just they don't even have to be in a multiverse either.
Exactly. It should
Like,
just
what?
been Doctor Strange 2,
It doesn't even have to be in a multiverse. Just
Scarlet Witch.
let you know, I guess the point where Scarlet Witch can, I guess, reconcile with herself.
You have a Scarlet Witch, you have a Doctor Strange, you have a really powerful character, just let them fight.
Like, the only reason why the multiverse is there because America Chavez just appears
Exactly.
out of nowhere. It's just
Cut-
like out of all of the like at the very start, out of all of the universes that they could have picked, like you know, that could have
Aye.
realistically could have went to accidentally to fight this big giant eye thing. It was conveniently the one where the film actually takes place.
Cut out the middle woman, cut out Chavez.
It's
You
like-
don't need her silly little
It's
American star.
It's like
Because-
it's like our world is the main one. But then
She punches you into a star because, you know, America, stars and stripes. Yeah, America.
I don't get why her name is literally America. I was like,
That's a loose translation.
I don't know. No idea about that.
And well, it ends with Doctor Strange mending a watch
Mending a watch, yeah.
because he gets back. Yeah, because America Chavez brings him back. He tries to bring this Christine. This Christine's like, no.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's just basically trying to steal her. Just get back to you're going back to my world. No, no, thank you.
That's a fun plotline though. If there was two Christines in that world. Anyway,
I don't know. I wonder how the reactions would be then.
the final scene, the scene that I'll take away is the final scene, sees Doctor Strange, Stephen Strange, in his really cool room. His room is so aesthetically pleasing. He fixes a watch. It's a very symbolic ending for him.
You know, I guess his broken mind is a bit sorted, maybe.
It was the broken watch, I'm assuming, from the car crash in
Mhm.
the first film, yeah.
Yeah,
He fixes his watch. That's good symbolism.
and he gets a bit. Maybe shows that he's fixed himself a little bit.
Exactly.
Maybe
What an on the nose.
maybe he's not so upset about the whole Christine thing anymore because he's been like that for the past, like, for those two films.
No, you could say his third eye opened. It's a terrible
Sick.
joke because
Sick,
you know.
man.
Because, you know, he then walks out into the streets and an eye opens in his head because he used the Book of the Damned.
Yeah, the book made him have a third eye, which looks horrendous.
I love it.
I mean, it doesn't. It's not that it actually looks bad. Like if you in the comic, it might not be like bad looking. I mean, I didn't complain about CGI too much, but that eye though, that eye
It
just,
looks amazing.
I don't know. It looks too off for me. Why?
Love it.
Just why? Like, what's the third eye gonna even be for? Like, I wonder.
Nothing. He has full control over it based on the other post-credit scene when some random woman who I've never heard of shows up and
Yeah,
says,
we were gonna mention the post credit scene.
"Oh, you've made an encouragement. You know, you've killed the multiverse. Like, oh, it's just obviously."
You know what I like though?
And away they go. Do you know what I don't like? I don't like the multiverse as a concept.
Nah, see that bit, the CGI bit, where like towards the end, she just slices open the air and then this big portal thing shows up. You know,
I don't know who she is, but she's really cool.
like I like that bit. Like that bit was actually quite, I don't know, I enjoyed the bit where she just kind of sliced it and it made like just the air around it look
Aye.
really, you know, wavy and weird as if it's
I'm-
like a big bit of, I love that.
I envision her writing.
They've all got like a
Box.
weird, they don't like,
Netflix has just queued
it's
on.
just open.
Netflix has just opened.
Lovely. But there's like when it comes to the multiverse, like whenever someone has a portal, like they all have their own way of doing it, and it just looks cool.
Yes.
But that one is definitely one of the coolest. Nothing will beat Doctor Strange's little.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is the best. It leads to the question of what's next for Doctor Strange?
Probably just more.
Multiverse.
I mean, that's all they're doing. That's the saga that's coming forward.
I hate it.
I don't know really what's going to happen. There's not going to be like we've said what's next for Ant-Man. We've seen what's next for Guardians of the Galaxy: The Legendary Star-Lord. But there's nothing fun you can really say for Doctor Strange. I think it's just more serious stuff. I feel like he'll act more like a mentor to some of them, other characters as well. He'll be the main guy to like.
He's
I
in the
guess.
next Spider-Man, isn't he?
There's another one coming in.
You damn well know it.
Probably, I don't know.
Not like they ended the trilogy and ended it really well. No, they'll make another 10s and there, and they'll win them all and they'll hate them all.
I mean, it sold really well, makes money. So
I wrote in my notes for
people
Doctor Strange 2 something along the lines of, what is the Marvel problem currently? Because there is a known Marvel problem. People have fatigue. They want less of it.
There's many Marvel problems. Some of it is political. Some of it is literally just straight up criticism. Like literally just
the CGI looks bad.
The CGI is getting bad.
Too much.
There's too much saturation. There's way too many shows. They're trying to cram all too much into one. Like I think someone made a comparison in the span of 10 years. It was maybe about 17 films or something. How many films was it? Yeah, in the span of 10 exact years. 11, if you're looking at Endgame and all that. Which gave room just for... It was perfect. Put that perfect in 3 phases really well. And then there was like more than all that in the span of like all these, like the past 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's just so much and... way too much.
Obviously, people also dislike that all of their favourite characters aren't making as much of an impact. That's more of a grow up, things don't last forever problem.
That's more,
accept change.
I guess it's more of a generation,
The quality has... A lot of people say the quality has dropped. I don't personally believe the quality has dropped. I just believe you're sick fed up of it. So that's not a slight on the films being bad. That's just your interpretation of them being bad. Yeah. And you're clouded by nostalgia. A lot of the early films are dreadful.
Thor one.
Thor one is amazing.
Yeah, anyway. I think it is mainly just... people, obviously there's a grown up factor of it. People need to accept it. And it's a new generation as well. Unless they do a whole multiverse thing where like they just pander to the nostalgia, people, the nostalgic people.
Well, you see, that's what I wrote on my notes list, and that's why I brought this up. I wrote down what is the main Marvel problem, and I put under it, it's the multiverse, isn't it?
Like this, like I feel like the multiverse is infinite, like possibilities, where it's like you can just bring back this character just for the the money.
You bring back Iron Man, people will be happy. You bring back Iron Man, people will be sad. You bring back Captain America, people will be angry. You bring back Captain America, people will be happy. There's no in between. It's lose. And then just don't do either.
There's like political stuff that people talk about as well, which I'm not going to get into, but I don't have an opinion on it either. But that's another reason why people are getting sick fed up of it, and I think people know what I'm talking about. If people I'm not getting into it. I don't agree with it personally, but that's what there's people who I've watched on YouTube or reviews or whatever. They say this is the reason why they don't actually watch Marvel anymore, or they've kind of stopped watching it as they go. But that's a whole other thing on its own. But other than the actual quality of the actual films themselves, I think they've just crammed way too much.
It's too much
into one.
It's why not just confusing?
I feel like they should. There's nothing wrong with a little formula. A formula for the next 3 phases, even. Introduce about 6 origin story heroes. As a film, maybe sequels for some of them. Have a couple.
Legacy.
Like say, have a couple of crossovers. That's what I meant. Your Avengers and stuff, and just build them up. Build it up nicely as it goes.
And
you don't need to have you don't need to have all these shows with all these different styles and multiverses and all this and that. Makes it a bit confusing. That's why the first 3 phases weren't as confusing. But there's just a lot of that. There was a point I was going to say as well, but I totally forgot. And it was a good point as well.
Now, I have absolutely slaughtered, ripped apart, destroyed this film. Pretty much. I've just slandered the multiverse for the entire time.
But you also really love it.
But I have claimed to also really love it. I feel like I probably should justify why and what I love in this film.
On you go.
The plot, it's fine. But see if you take things out in isolation.
Yeah.
That's the things I love. If you take Scarlet Witch's
Scarlet Witch made it.
character in isolation, it's 10 out of 10. If you take Doctor Strange in
Yeah.
isolation, it's 10 out of 10.
It was more of a character building kind of thing.
Yeah, if you take these two, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 performances, if you take specific scenes such as the Nightmare music fight, one of my favourite scenes in the cinematic universe, if you take the little horror-y Sam Raimi-isms, Sam Raimi stitches this film. Sam Raimi is probably the reason I like it. It's just entertaining to watch. But the things I dislike, America Chavez and the Multiverse, conveniently they're linked.
I just hope they make more sense of it later on, or else just...
I also love how they've tried to make sense of it by like overly explaining it every single time. But
Yeah.
it never goes in.
But it's more, I think they just more expect, right, they won't, let's just pray that the audience don't ask these questions.
Oh, we're going to ask questions.
But as you know, overthinkers do, you know, they just, including me, I'm like, but what about this that happened over there, you know, this isn't adding up
Yeah, we
already.
need answers.
Like, more questions than answers for some of these films, but as like an actual like standalone film, it's good for, like, really good for, you know, Scarlet Witch, you know, character, because everyone was wanting to find out what happened after that WandaVision whole mess thing, and then Doctor Strange got a bit of, you know, matured a bit from the whole Christine thing, and then
I really like that opening wedding.
and he's you know, he's more of a mentor kind of figure now.
Yeah, he feels
I feel
grizzled.
like
He feels like he's been through it.
Next time he's gonna, like, next time we see him, he's definitely gonna be more of a, you know, a mentor figure, you know, someone to teach, someone to be, you know, teach the new generation.
Of course, because America Chavez started doing spells, which means she ain't going anywhere.
Yeah,
That's nice. I personally would have liked her dead. You know, the classic, we had basically the solution to the problem of Wanda hunting her was to kill her. Otherwise, they'd lose. But they didn't. They found a new solution. I would have liked her to die.
oh god, I just thought of like multiple America Chavez's at once, and thought of like all
She's
of
the
their
only one.
all of their portals
It's
at the one
okay, it's
time.
okay, she's the only one.
There's going to be a second one that's going to
No,
appear.
she's an anomaly. They made it very clear in the film that she is the only one of her.
You know, maybe they'll retract that.
Do you think that wee lady that appeared at the end is her mother?
Maybe, or one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not sure.
I like the film. It's got really good stuff in it. It's got some stuff that I despise, but
During my
that's
first
because I don't understand.
watch, I was more. I mean, I loved it for what it was. I was like, that's good. I liked it. I liked the way it looked, like the characters and all that. Really good. And then I started to just think about it after it, and then after watching it a second time, I was just like, what is actually happening? Like, with this whole multiverse thing. I don't try to think too much of it because that's kind of what Marvel are kind of like saying to us pretty much. Nowadays, they're like, don't overthink it, just accept it.
That's a terrible thing. That's called don't think about all the flaws and mistakes we are making.
Pretty, I mean,
ignore them.
yeah, that's pretty much what I was saying, but it's like, just try not to, I guess, link it too much. Like, if we said this one sentence in a film back then, you know, and if it kind of, you know, contradicts something now,
Is that the Star-Lord's boots?
I guess
theory?
just ignore it. I don't know, anything like that.
Yeah.
Just little things. But other than that, I think it was really good in my first watch. My second watch, I was a little bit more confused, but I still enjoyed the individual things that were placed in it.
See,
Like
I liked
the whole Scarlet Witch thing, the Doctor Strange thing.
I liked it more in my second watch because I appreciated all of the absolutely amazing sequences in it.
Yeah, the CGIs was,
There's
like, some of the sequences looked really
so
good.
many good
There was a lot of
sequences.
creativity in it, I will say.
Yeah.
Because everything, if you're doing a multiverse thing, you have to be different. It has to be different the entire thing. You can't just have, you know, it can't all just look the same, and also that's just boring. Because they don't, you know, with Endgame they made it look the same because there was time travel,
Yeah.
not the actual, time travel is a whole different thing.
They're the same.
I'm not getting into it.
Uh,
I had a tangent about Tears of the Kingdom and the whole time travel thing to him earlier on. I'm not having it again. But yeah, that was like, it looked the same because there was time travel. This is different because it's a whole different thing. We don't know why it came to be this different things. It just is. But I still appreciate the creativity that went into it, and you know, You know, I'd love to see them turn into paint again and have like a
Yeah.
whole like Splatoon like sort of
See-
fight where
see-
they.
Ah,
I'd love like
see,
something wacky like that.
see if Wanda and Doctor Strange got to fight. That is what the fight would have been. Them
Yeah.
travelling through different multiverses,
I love
changing.
that. It's like how,
Like, oh, they're
it's
in a
like
black and white
thing-
one fighting black and white. It's like, oh, they're paint fighting, and you can watch
It's
the
like-
paint fight.
it's
Oh,
like- it's
they're
like in-
Lego fighting.
it's like in Bullet Train. I was just I compare Bullet Train because they have like they go from like the in the train they just use whatever it's around them, you know, going from carriage to carriage and all that,
Yeah.
fighting and all that. That's quite good. So like imagine you had, and then each bit was different. So imagine you had, you know, I don't know how they would travel for each reality. Just America Chavez in the background, just doing
Well, she's
something.
not in the film in my mind.
Yeah, but for the sake of the whole travel into different multiverses and the one fight thing, you have to have.
Scarlet Witch can do it.
It
That's
starts
in
at
my
one
mind.
thing, and then boom, something happens, and then they're in a totally different thing. They have to use something else to, like, do something. Like they turn into paint, and they've got to do this and that.
Also known as Spider-Man, Spider-Verse. The only good multiverse film we've come across being the
Oh.
Spider-Verse films.
Oh! I forgot about that. I haven't watched the second one yet
Brilliant.
because Adodian's gone.
Aye, our road and closed. It's a tragedy.
Yeah, we mentioned that a couple of times in some episodes, but
Aye,
unless you didn't know, it
You
happened.
just need to know.
I mean, a lot of people, you know, probably are maybe watching this anyway, but
Our local
it's-
Odeon closed.
yeah. So I haven't seen it yet, but I will one day probably. Into the Spider-Verse was pretty good as well.
Yeah, a good multiverse
I
film.
very much enjoyed that.
Everything
I
If
feel
All
like-
at Once, that's a multiverse film that's half decent.
I feel like there's another like branch of multiverse, and that's like multiverses where I'm getting confused. Multiverses where you can't actually, like, if you're in the MCU, you can't go into the actual Spider-Verse film. There's another Spider-Man that comes out. You don't want Miles Morales just like kind of strolling up like, yo, what's up?
I mean, it's happening, innit?
It's probably going to happen, but then you have the whole, you know, in that universe, you've got the whole
it's
Spider-Man thing where you get all the different Spider-Man and all that, and then you get the mix of the cartoon and real life and all
It's
that.
happening.
I don't know how to feel about that, even though it's probably going to happen.
How much money will it make? Exactly the same as all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to flop.
It's not going to flop, obviously, but it's because everyone's just going to go and see it anyway, you know? What's all the fuss about? It's not going to come out on Disney Plus for about 5 months. Let's just go and see it. See what's happening.
Yeah.
That's why I mean, that, oh, we're not. If we don't go see it now, it's not going to release for the next like 4 months. Let's just go and see it, you know, before we miss out on spoilers and all that, or like get spoiled. That's actually my theory as to why they put them out so late.
Yeah, they put them out around about the same time as DVD.
Yeah, but it's usually
slightly
it's usually
before.
it's usually a longer time. It's usually about 3 months or something. Like Quantum Mania came out in February, I think, but it didn't actually come out on Disney Plus till about like last month.
They profit more if they leave it at the cinema. So
Yeah, but usually cinematic release, like actual theatrical releases, that's what I meant. Usually they're a bit shorter. I don't know. There's usually a pause in between the theatrical releases and the on-demand stuff.
Build some hype.
I've seen those patterns before. Maybe I'm just completely wrong, but that is my little theory. But yeah, this has been a very confusing discussion.
yeah, I still don't know what it. I just know I like lots of little bits from the
Yeah,
film.
I love
that
it. I love
add
the
together
individual
to make
stuff.
a love of the film.
Love the individual stuff, the characters in it. America Chavez is okay, just
I just
not
don't like the multiverse.
not like strong enough, and the creativity was very good,
Yeah.
and the horror
amazing.
was fine. It didn't scare me, but it was definitely
It was
definitely
never designed.
it was
to
nice.
scare
It was
you.
nicely
It's
detailed.
Sam Raimi stuff. It's all
it-
atmospheric.
I don't mind horror that doesn't scare you, as long as it just brings out a really creepy vibe, because they make the multiverse to look like it's a terrifying place. Like, we're the only pure universe.
They should have done that.
You know, like if the other multiverse's version of Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, you know, the same events happen.
Don't think
If
about.
the exact same events of this film happened in
Other
a different
versions.
multiverse, the exact same events, everything, and then they must think that our universe is like evil one and bad.
I've been Ryan. This has been
Josh
Gallus
White.
Podcasts. And you can check out our other stuff, our
My brain's
slightly
fried.
less confusing stuff, and the descriptor in the episode description below.
I promise our next discussion won't be as brain frying as it has been.
Have a good day, buddy.